Hi guys! So today I'm going to be talking about my experience interning at a publishing company. So a couple of weeks ago I was lucky enough to get the experience to intern at a publishing company. So I'm going to be talking about in this video how I got the internship, my experience, my thoughts, and some tips for you guys if you are interested in getting an internship at a publishing company. First of all, let's talk about how I got the internship. My course allows me to do an internship if I wanted to, my university course, and as this was my last unit that I would ever be doing, I decided that I really wanted to do an internship as I thought like that the experience would be valuable and insightful for me, and especially like getting that affirmation that publishing is something that I wanted to get into. I know you guys know that I love books and it's obvious that I want to spend all my time around them, and I know that I want to work in publishing, but I really don't know much about the publishing industry in general. I felt like doing an internship at a publishing company though would help me gain that experience, and so when I go for looking for a job I wouldn't be like completely naive as to what goes on in a publishing company. I sent emails out to all the major publishing companies. The one I was really hoping to get an internship was with Penguin. Unfortunately though, all of them got back to me with, no, sorry, no, we've already filled our quota for the year, we can't take on any more interns. And whilst it was really disheartening, at the same time it made me more determined to get an internship somewhere. Eventually I had to start thinking outside the box, and I contacted someone that I used to review books for. You guys have probably heard me talk about Hotkey Books before. I've done reviews of them. I get sent books for honest review by them. So I contact the person who sends me those books and I was like, hey, I'm looking to do an internship. I was wondering if you could hook me up with anybody who could maybe help me out. She hooked me up with someone and we kind of conversed a couple of emails. She sounded interested. I was really excited and she told me she would call me to discuss it further. I was really nervous. I didn't know if she was going to accept me, and if she didn't accept me then I was kind of stuck. I'd already applied for most of the other publishing companies. So when I got the call, I answered and I was like, hi, and she was like, hi, so when are you coming to work for us? And it was at that moment on, I knew that I got it and I was super excited. So I guess my first tip is to not give up and to also apply for publishing companies that you wouldn't normally think of. Bigger publishing companies are gonna have a lot of applications for internships. And whilst it would be really cool to do an internship at one of those big publishing companies, an internship in general at any publishing company is a really cool experience. So apply also for those smaller ones and don't get disheartened. So then once that was all sorted and I did stuff for my uni, confirming it with them and everything, I had to get ready to do this internship. Obviously I emailed asking what the dress code was because I wanted to dress smart, I didn't want to dress in my bandy top or whatever. So I asked and it was like smart casual, so I made sure that I had smart casual clothes to wear. I had to stay at my friend's because the internship was a bit far out and they were a lot closer, and of course I had to take public transport there. So I knew the route and knew where to go. I made sure that I knew where everything was before I went there so I wouldn't get lost on my first day. So my second tip is just to be prepared. Know the dress code for everything, know where the place is, how are you going to get there, just general things like that. Another tip I want to say is be open-minded. This is because I wasn't very open-minded when I went into the publishing internship. The department I got it in was editing, which honestly I really had no interest in. I didn't think editing was my strong point at all, and I really didn't, it didn't really appeal to me. However, that's where I could get it in, and so of course I took it anyway. I figured any experience is better than no experience, right? Now the publishing company I interned at was mainly a children's book publishing company. So they worked with a lot of children's books. And something I quickly learned, or at least at this publishing company, now please remember that each publishing company is different, each editing role is different, and depending where you're working. But at this publishing company, the editors actually got a lot more creative license than I thought they would. They got to write their own generic titles, and I also learned something new. A lot of the licensed titles you see, like My Little Pony, The Wiggles, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, those big licensing companies. The publisher is often given an idea for a story or given a script for an upcoming movie or TV show, and the publishing company is to make a book out of that. They actually get to write the book themselves, or they can just write generic titles in that series and publish them, with the license's approval of course. This is really cool to me. I didn't know that, and it actually showed me how much more creative license that the editors got that I wasn't expecting. For the first couple of days I just mainly proofread a lot of work, which was still really cool. I was proofreading My Little Pony, guys, which if you know me was like a dream come true. I learned tips of how to proofread, which is actually quite helpful. Like you should try and just read one word at a time and cover everything else up, because your brain can guess what's coming next, so therefore it's easier for you to miss mistakes. So if you do it like that, then your brain's not expecting what's going to come and you can more efficiently pick out mistakes. But then I got tasks where I got asked to write certain things. One of those tasks, I got asked to write a certain book. It was a book for a popular Australian Australian's children band. I'm not going to say who because I'm not sure if I can get into trouble, but if you think about it, you probably know who I'm talking about. And it was a design your own bow kit book. One of the staff members came up to me, she gave me the premise of it and was like, we want you to write this. I was kind of explaining to kids how to use a bow stencil, what you could do with your bow, what you could use other things to make your bow with, like fun little things like that. Honestly, the task was really daunting, especially because I had no idea what to do. I didn't even have the bow stencil there in front of me, so it was a bit hard to explain to kids how to use something when I couldn't even see it for myself. At first, I didn't even think I could do it, but I did the best that I could and I handed it in. I think in total, the word count was about 1,500 words and it kind of took me a whole afternoon to complete it. When I handed it in, I got some really good feedback and it was honestly the best task that I did there. I learned not to doubt myself and everything because I really was, especially when I handed it in and she was reading it over, I started to really doubt what I had written. What happens if what I'd written wasn't suitable or it was just plain stupid? But as she read it, she made comments like, oh, that's really cute, or that's such a cute idea. And it kind of reminded myself not to doubt myself so much and to try. When I first got this task, I didn't even want to try it. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. You should always give something a go even if you don't think you're going to do very well at it, because it's better to try and it's going to look good too. At least you're willing to give something a go. After I handed that in, I didn't really think much of it. I definitely didn't think that they would use it. But then a week later, at my last week there, I got handed that same work back. It was all mucked up of what it was going to look like and everything, and I got asked to proofread it. There were some small slight changes to what I'd written, but the majority of it was actually stuff that I'd written. It was really surreal and also kind of hard too because I had to proofread what I had already written. I definitely kind of want to buy that book when it comes out because I know that I helped make that book and it's just a really surreal and cool experience, and again really affirmed to me that this is what I want to do. I want to help books come to life. I learned throughout my experience to be more open-minded in what field I want to work in publishing, and now I'm actually even considering working in editing, especially children's editing, as you know, you get that creative license. The staff members there also are really nice too. When you get to an internship, try and make friends and make networks of people. These people could be one day the people that are hiring you or to give you a good reference, and so you want to make a good impression. They don't bite, and I'm going to assume for the most part that they're going to be really lovely. The people that I worked with were. In fact, the time came when it was the end of my 3 weeks. They held me in like a surprise morning tea as a thank you. It was just really heartwarming and really nice, and I felt like I really connected to those people. We were all passionate about books. I also gained a greater appreciation for children's books, seeing how much work goes into them. The publishing company itself was a really cool experience, and actually while I was there, filmed a little tour for you guys. It's only a very short tour because I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but I'll insert that clip here.
So as you can see, this is the workplace and there's nobody here because I filmed this very early in the morning when nobody had arrived because I didn't want to catch people on camera who didn't want to be. So this is just the general upstairs where most of the creative people were. This was some of the books that they had published in recent years, a little display that they have, I guess, to inspire and show people, you know, these are the books I have. But just walking past, you know, the main offices, like that's one of the main editor's offices. Over here is the designer people work, where the people who make the covers and everything and all that are. So as you can see, that's a little workplace there. That's a fancy printer that they use to print mock-ups of books of, and the kitchen is just around the corner. This is the warehouse that they have on site that most publishing companies do not have. As you can see, it's very big and it goes very far back, and there was a lot of books. There are so many aisles and aisles of books, and all the boxes up there are just so many books.
So yeah, that was a little tour. As you can see that they actually had their warehouse on site. A lot of publishing companies don't have that, and I actually believe that that publishing company is moving, so they won't have their warehouse on site anymore. But I still think it was really cool. It was a really cool experience going into the warehouse and seeing books for miles. It definitely made my little book heart happy. Another thing I learnt while at my publishing experience, which I thought I would tell you guys in case publishing is something that you do want to get into, is that at least here in Australia, I'm not sure about overseas, but book publishers don't earn too much. I believe that the majority actually get below the average wage. A lot of people are in publishing because they're passionate about what they do and it's something they love, not for the money. But I know that money does affect some people, so maybe that's something to consider and to look more into if you are looking to get into publishing. For me, I'd rather do something that I love and earn less than do something that I hate and earn more, especially if I'm going to be doing it for the rest of my life. But again, that's up to you, so I just thought I would add that in there. Overall though, I really enjoyed my time at a publishing company. I learnt so much. I made a lot of great networks. At the end of it, I put my hand up to them and said that I was free to do more work for them in the future, and they seemed really positive about that and that they would contact me. I made a lot of friends too, and I learned so much about publishing in general. If you ever get the chance to, I would highly recommend doing an internship in publishing, or just an internship in general at whatever your chosen field of work is. I think that they're really insightful, and I learned so much for this experience. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever done an internship before and what was your experience doing it, and if you do want to work in publishing. Like this video if it was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments below if you have any more questions about my experience or anything. I'd be happy to answer them. And subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos from me, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye!